Hold up, did Erica Mena just crack open the vault on Yandy Smith's picture-perfect marriage? Is Mendeecees not the loyal husband we've all been gaslit to believe he is? Because baby, the streets, and by streets, we mean Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 13 just witnessed a confrontation so raw, so out of pocket. Even the producers were caught clutching their headsets. What started as a chill rooftop mixer spiraled into a scandal-packed mess, complete with leaked receipts, whispered threats, and one of the most ice-cold stare-downs reality TV has ever delivered. But here's the real tea: was this just another scripted spat for the cameras? Or did Erica just drag Yandy's entire marriage to the curb in front of millions? And if what she said is even half true, then Mendeecees has some serious explaining to do. So, how did we get here? What exactly did Erica say that left Yandy near tears and the internet in full meltdown mode? And why is Mendeecees suddenly silent after all these years of "I'm a changed man" energy? Buckle up, because this ain't just drama, it's a full-blown emotional crime scene, and you're not gonna believe how deep this rabbit hole goes. When Erica Mena showed up to that rooftop shoot, no one expected anything more than glam shots, cocktails, and maybe a few side-eyes between cast members. But what actually went down flipped the entire season on its head and possibly cracked the very foundation of Yandy Smith's marriage to Mendeecees. The moment Erica motioned for Yandy to step aside, it was like the clouds parted and the devil himself whispered, "This is about to get messy." And messy it did. From a distance, it looked innocent enough. A quiet chat, a little dramatic tension. The kind of reality TV slow burn that usually fizzles out before the commercial break. But not this time, because Erica didn't come to play cute. She came with 20 seasons worth of rage, receipts, and something in her eyes that said, "I've been waiting to drop this bomb for years." According to insiders who were there, Erica wasted no time. She leaned in close and hit Yandy with a sentence so cold, it should have come with a winter weather warning. "You really thought I was just gonna let you sit here and act like nothing happened?" The moment Mendeecees' name left her mouth, Yandy stiffened. Her entire body changed. Posture locked, lips tight, eyes narrow. Erica wasn't bringing up petty shade. She was digging straight into the past one Yandy had clearly tried to bury. But not today. Because apparently, there were messages. Alleged voice notes. Even a few people, Erica claimed, could back her up. She was calm, terrifyingly calm, which only made it worse. Yandy, in shock, asked her what she was talking about, trying to keep her voice even. But Erica wasn't here for vague flashbacks or soft wording. She was surgical. She spoke clearly, deliberately, as if rehearsed. Moments, memories, incidents, times when Mendeecees, according to her, wasn't quite the loyal, distant, reformed man everyone believed him to be. And baby, she said it loud enough for people nearby to start turning their heads. "You weren't always the only one in his life, Yandy, and you know that." That one line. Boom. A grenade tossed with perfect aim. Now, keep in mind, this isn't the first time Erica and Yandy have had tension. These two have danced around drama like it's choreography, but nothing ever landed like this. This time, it was personal. Real personal. Rashida, who was off mingling, clocked the energy shift and started walking over. Security hovered nearby, producers whispered in earpieces, and cameras zoomed in just close enough. The entire set froze, because even in a world built on reality TV chaos, this moment felt different. Yandy's response was sharp but calm. Controlled fire, as one crew member described it. She told Erica dragging up old drama didn't serve anyone, and if she had something to say, she should have said it when it mattered. Not now, when the cameras are rolling and everyone's watching. But Erica didn't flinch. She wasn't yelling. She didn't need to. Her tone cut deeper than any scream could. "I stayed quiet out of respect," she said. "But watching you sit here acting like none of it mattered. Nah, I'm done protecting everybody." The weight of that sentence hit like a truck. Was she implying Mendeecees had lied? That Yandy knew something she pretended to forget? Or worse, that their marriage was built on secrets nobody ever expected to see dragged into daylight? It didn't take long for the cast to start reacting. You could see the room split right down the middle. Some gravitated toward Yandy, whispering, hugging, offering nervous support. Others hovered closer to Erica, watching her like she was a live wire. Rashida, trying to mediate, stepped between them, subtly. Nobody wanted this to go further. At least not physically. But the emotional bomb had already gone off. What wasn't caught on camera was what happened once the scene wrapped. According to an assistant producer, Yandy left without a word, didn't stay for the post-shoot gathering, skipped the group dinner, didn't even wait for her driver. She just left. Erica, on the other hand, stayed behind, sipped wine, laughed, took selfies with fans. Some say she was glowing. Others say it was pure calculation. But online, the real storm was just beginning. Word started leaking fast. Someone on set sent a cryptic message to a blog account, and within hours, fan pages were exploding. Did Mendeecees have a secret past with Erica? Were there texts, voice notes, and if so, why now? Why drop it in the middle of filming unless she wanted the whole world to know? Clips from earlier seasons started trending again. Fans began digging, comparing footage from past reunions. One viral post even showed Erica rolling her eyes at Yandy during season 9, captioned with, "She'd been holding this in." And that was all it took. The internet lit up. Team Erica, Team Yandy, Team Mendeecees needs to explain himself. It was chaos. One Twitter user claimed they had a friend on production who saw the uncut footage and swore it's worse than what aired. Another fan pulled screenshots from years ago showing Mendeecees and Erica attending the same event, weeks before he and Yandy went public. And suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about an argument. It was about betrayal. About timing. About who knew what tanned when back on set. Producers were loving the numbers, but stressing over logistics. Erica and Yandy both missed the next shoot day, and the tension was bleeding into every part of production. Cast group chats were a mess. People were picking sides. Some even asked to not be placed in scenes with either of them. Behind the scenes, whispers got louder, that this might not just be reality TV anymore. That this might be real. A crack in the glossy surface of what everyone assumed was Yandy's untouchable marriage. And if Mendeecees really was sending messages back, then what did that mean for everything we've seen since? When filming resumed days later, the vibe was off. Tense, awkward. Cast members barely made eye contact. Crew moved quietly, and producers spoke in hushed tones. At one point, Bambi tried to lighten the mood and casually asked, "So, y'all good from the other day?" And the silence that followed could have shattered glass. Yandy, wrapped in sunglasses and silence, muttered, "I don't think that's a conversation we need to have right now." Erica, seated nearby, didn't miss a beat. She sipped her drink and said under her breath, "Should have had it years ago." That was it. One sentence. But the damage it did, immeasurable. Rashida jumped in quickly to redirect the topic, but the tension, already back, thicker than ever. And while all this was happening in front of the cameras, the real chaos was unfolding online. A blurry behind-the-scenes clip started making rounds showing Erica talking to a crew member, saying, "I got voice notes if she wanna play?" No context. No proof, but that was enough. Fans exploded. Reddit threads, Instagram comments, YouTube breakdowns. Everyone wanted to know, was this just a storyline, or was Erica finally unearthing something Yandy spent years hiding? And more importantly, where the hell was Mendeecees in all this? Why was he silent? Why hadn't he stepped in to defend his wife, or shut down Erica's claims? As the pressure built, some insiders said Mendeecees was furious. Not with Yandy, not even with Erica, but with production. Allegedly, he felt blindsided, used, dragged into a plot he didn't sign up for. But the cameras were already rolling. The damage already done. And the audience, they weren't letting go, because once a scandal like this breaks, there's no going back. Not for Yandy, not for Erica. Not for the marriage everyone thought was built to last. And just when it seemed like things couldn't spiral any further, the producers decided to throw gasoline on the fire. That night, at a private sit-down dinner scene meant to calm tensions, they invited the whole cast, Erica included, but what made jaws drop wasn't her presence. It was the calm, unbothered way she walked in, like she hadn't just dropped a marriage-destroying bomb 2 days earlier. Dressed in all black, sunglasses on indoors, she didn't even glance at Yandy, who had been seated at the far end of the table. The air was electric. Every cast member knew what they were walking into. Producers weren't even trying to hide it anymore. This wasn't about reconciliation. This was about ratings. And the whole room knew it. Spice tried to break the tension by mentioning some vague notion of group healing, the kind of reality TV therapy session that usually ends with a toast and a badly lit group hug. But Yandy wasn't having it. Her voice low, her tone hollow. She said, "Some things ain't about holding in. It's about choosing peace." And that would have been that if Erica hadn't leaned in, put her glass down, and said, "Peace don't come without truth." The silence that followed was heavy. Forks paused mid-air, conversations died mid-sentence, and every eye turned to Yandy, who stared across the table, visibly fighting back tears. "So tell your truth then," she said. "Since you've been holding it in for so long." Erica didn't blink. "He wasn't always yours. And deep down, you know that." Her voice wasn't loud, but it cut through the room like a blade. And that was it. Yandy stood up slowly, placed her napkin on the table like a final act of surrender, and walked out. She didn't yell, she didn't cry, she just left. Outside, she stood by the valet with her phone in hand but didn't make a call. The second camera crew caught up just in time to hear her say, "This is why I don't bring up the past. People don't use it to heal, they use it to hurt." Inside, Erica kept eating. When a producer later asked her if she thought she went too far, she shrugged. "I needed to say it. If the truth stings, that's not my fault." But behind the confidence, crew members noticed something else, something cracked. She wasn't just dropping bombs for shock value, she was bleeding too, quietly, privately, and that's when things really exploded because that very night, a blog dropped a source leak claiming that years ago, during one of Mendeecees and Yandy's many off-camera breaks, Erica and Mendeecees had been in frequent contact, including a long, emotional phone call where he allegedly said he didn't know where his heart was. No recordings. No proof. Just enough of a breadcrumb trail to set the entire internet on fire. Within hours, fans were digging through old photos, comparing timelines, matching outfits, reposting blurry screenshots of Erica and Mendeecees at the same events, with captions like, "How did we miss this?" Twitter was in full detective mode. Reddit threads turned into full investigative dossiers. TikTok edits showed Yandy crying on past episodes, overlaid with the newly leaked confessionals. And suddenly, this wasn't about who said what at dinner. It was about whether the entire foundation of Yandy's marriage was based on a lie. Back on set, Yandy refused to shoot for 2 days. Not because she was being dramatic, but because she was genuinely shaken. According to one insider, she stayed at a private hotel, disconnected from the group house, and refused to take calls. A production assistant overheard her crying in her room saying, "I thought we buried this. I didn't think she'd ever go there." Her inner circle was split. Some begged her to confront Erica again, to reclaim the narrative before it spun too far out of control. Others told her to stay silent, let it fade, but deep down, Yandy knew it wouldn't. Because now that Erica had spoken her truth, the world wasn't going to stop until she responded. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was still missing in action. No statements. No appearances. No denial. Nothing. Which, of course, only made things worse. The silence felt like guilt, like confirmation. The fans were merciless. Memes of him disappearing during drama trended for hours. One viral tweet read, "Mendeecees vanishes faster than his loyalty." But privately, something was brewing. Because just 3 days later, Mendeecees finally appeared on camera. No cast. No Yandy. No Erica. Just him, a chair, and a crew of 3. He didn't want glam. He didn't want edits. He wanted to talk. And when he did, the internet stopped. Yeah, those texts were real, he admitted. They happened during a weird time. We weren't together. We weren't apart either. It was complicated. His voice was flat, exhausted. "I said things I probably shouldn't have, but I never crossed a line physically. I never stepped out. But I won't act like I was perfect. I wasn't, and I know I hurt her." In that moment, fans were split. Some said he was brave for owning it. Others dragged him for emotional cheating. But no one was ignoring it. This was no longer a subplot. This was the whole damn season. And Yandy, she returned to filming the next day. On the outside, but visibly shaken. Her first confessional back was stripped of glam. No lashes. Number. Filters. Just her, raw. "When I joined this show, I knew people would talk. I knew old stuff might pop up. But I never thought the betrayal would come from the people I once trusted, and the man I thought would always have my back." She didn't name Erica. She didn't name Mendeecees. But every viewer knew exactly who she was talking about. And just like that, the storyline blurred into real life in a way no one was prepared for. Behind the scenes, producers were scrambling. The next few episodes were already being rewritten. Voiceovers were being added. Editors were pulling dramatic sound bites like gold. This wasn't just television anymore. This was heartbreak. Real heartbreak. And the fans. They were living for it. One user posted a side-by-side of Yandy's walkout and Erica's confessionals with the caption, "This ain't a show, this a documentary." Another fan wrote, If season 13 doesn't win an Emmy, we riot. And to be honest, they weren't wrong, because the drama, it was Olympic level, and while all this was happening, Erica vanished. No shows, no posts, no filming, just silence. Her rep told producers she needed time, that the backlash was too much, that she never expected it to hit this hard. Some called it a calculated move. Others said it was damage control. But one thing was clear: she had shaken the entire franchise to its core. Meanwhile, Yandy tried to rebuild. She filmed a brunch scene with Bambi and Rashida, trying to move forward. But the hurt was still fresh. "I thought I was past it," she said. "But maybe I never let it go." When Rashida asked if there was any truth to what Erica said, Yandy didn't blink. "I don't know what she thinks she remembers. But that man has always been mine." The producers started planning a potential sit-down between the two women. This time, off-site, away from the cast, possibly, with a mediator, but no one was sure if they'd agree. Not after everything. The trust, shattered. The friendship, gone. And the fallout, just beginning. One teaser dropped later that week, showing Erica, finally back, sitting down for a confessional with fire in her eyes. "I've been quiet too long. This was never about clout. This was about truth. And when the truth hurts, people always want to silence the one who speaks it. And that was the moment the franchise knew they had lightning in a bottle. Erica's fire, Yandy's heartbreak, and Mendeecees' reluctant confession. It was the kind of storm reality TV producers pray for but rarely survive. Because this wasn't just a storyline anymore. This was betrayal captured in 4K. And when the next filming date rolled around, they weren't at a flashy event or cast house. No, they were in a plain private studio with just enough space for a semicircle of pain. Rashida, Bambi, Spice, and Carly Red sat quietly, waiting for the cameras to roll, each of them clutching their phones like holy books of gossip, because before anyone said a word, they had already seen the leaked texts. "I just can't believe those messages came out like that," Bambi muttered, still scrolling. "This ain't no storyline. That's a real marriage on the line." Spice nodded slowly, eyes narrowed. "Yandy strong, but this was break anybody. Imagine thinking your house is solid, and boom receipts." Carly leaned in, dramatic as ever. "But y'all really don't think it's suspicious? The leak happened right after their sit-down. That wasn't an accident. Somebody's playing chess, not checkers." Rashida, voice low, added, "Even if Erica didn't leak it, she brought the energy that led us here. And now, everything's a mess." Meanwhile, across town, Yandy sat alone under studio lights filming what producers would later call her most raw confessional yet. No lashes, no contour, no filters, a woman who looked like she'd aged 5 years in a week. "When I signed up for this show," she said, staring into the camera, "I knew people would talk. I knew old stuff might pop up, but I never expected to feel betrayed like this, not just by Erica, but by the man I trusted most." Her voice cracked. "I'm not saying he cheated. I'm saying he made someone else feel like she mattered, and he didn't tell me, and now the whole world knows before I ever had a chance to heal." That clip, just 30 seconds, was all the internet needed to completely unravel. It leaked within hours and went viral before sunrise. Fans flooded her with support. She deserves better. This season got too real. This ain't love and hip-hop, it's trauma TV. And Erica, she stayed quiet, refused to shoot, refused to post. Producers tried to reach her. Nothing. She sent word through her team. She needed time. The backlash had gotten too intense. Some believed her. Others rolled their eyes and said it was all part of the Erica Mena playbook: go hard, disappear, then come back swinging. But what no one expected was what happened next. Mendeecees reappeared, but not at a cast event or reunion. This was private, somber, stripped down. Just him, one camera, and a mic. No background music. No edits, just truth unfiltered. "I didn't want to be part of this story," he began. "But since my name's out there, I gotta speak." He didn't deny the texts. "Yeah, they're real. They happened during a time when me and Yandy were in a complicated place. We weren't fully together. We weren't apart either, and I was confused." He paused. "I said things to Erica I shouldn't have. But I never stepped out physically, never crossed that line." And then he looked directly into the camera. "I never meant to hurt Yandy, but I know it doesn't matter what I meant. It only matters how she feels. And she has every right to be upset." The video dropped, and the internet cracked open. Fans were split down the middle. Some praised him for finally telling the truth. Others dragged him for what they called emotional cheating, memes, reaction videos, think pieces. Everyone had an opinion. But no one could deny it anymore. The lines between reality and reality TV were completely gone. Yandy hadn't responded. Publicly, Erica had gone ghost. And the producers. They were scrambling. Whole episodes had to be teasers rewritten. New confessionals booked. Because now, the story had changed again. And just when it seemed like things might settle, Erica walked back into the picture. Literally. During a surprise rooftop event, meant to be a neutral reset scene, cast members were sipping drinks and trying to keep things light. No one expected her to show, but there she was, wearing all black, sunglasses on, walking straight to the bar like a ghost come to haunt them. Crew members froze. Producers panicked. But the cameras, they rolled. Rashida was the first to approach her. "You good?" she asked quietly. Erica removed her glasses. "Not really, but I couldn't stay quiet forever." Everyone watched. The music dipped. The air shifted. Erica raised her glass and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "I didn't leak those messages. But I'm not apologizing either. They were real. They happened. And whether anyone likes it or not, they were part of my truth." Spice crossed her arms. "So what now? You said your piece." Yandy's broken. Mendeecees embarrassed. "The whole world's watching." Erica nodded slowly. "I know. And I didn't come here to stir things up again. I came to say I'm done. I said what I had to say. What Yandy chooses to do with it, that's on her. But I'm not going to carry this anymore." She turned and walked out. No drama. No fight. Just silence. And that silence, louder than any scream. Because it wasn't closure, but it was something. A crack in the chaos. A pause in the storm. And the next week, something even more unexpected happened. Yandy and Mendeecees were spotted together at a community event. No cameras, no press, just them standing side by side. Blurry fan photos flooded the blogs. Reconciliation. Damage control. No one knew, and neither of them said a word. Production wrapped soon after that. Final scenes filmed. Season 13 officially locked. But the echoes of what happened, they're still being felt. This was the season that went beyond TV. The season where the mess got so real, even the cast couldn't tell what was scripted and what wasn't. Marriages were tested. Friendships burned. Reputations changed. And fans, they didn't just watch, they lived it. And now the question is, where does it go from here? Because with Erica hinting that she's still holding on to receipts, with Yandy rebuilding her public image brick by emotional brick, and with Mendeecees trying to rewrite his role in this story, you just know another storm is brewing. The question isn't if, it's when. And when it hits, it won't just shake season 13. It might tear the entire franchise apart. But one thing's for sure, whatever peace they had, it's long gone. And this war, it's personal now. And there you have it, allies exposed, marriages, shaken, reputations dragging across the internet, like yesterday's drama, and we're only scratching the surface. Yandy's wiping away tears on national television. Mendeecees is dodging emotional shrapnel in confessionals, and Erica, oh, she just dropped the mic and vanished like a scandalous fairy godmother with a phone full of receipts. So now the million question is, who's telling the truth? Who's just playing the game? And who's about to get played next? Is Yandy really the victim here? Or did she build her castle on top of a secret she hoped would stay buried? Did Mendeecees just admit to emotional cheating without actually saying the word? And Erica, was she exposing the truth for healing, or weaponizing it for revenge? These aren't just reality TV questions. Baby, this is soap opera level warfare, with wigs, wine glasses, and weaponized screenshots. So, what team are you on? Team Yandy, the betrayed wife trying to hold it all together. Team Erica, the unapologetic truth-teller who says she's done but keeps circling back. Or maybe your team, let's see the voice notes already, because, let's be real, until those receipts drop, the internet ain't letting this go. Drop your hottest takes in the comments below. Don't hold back. We want the realest reactions. Do you believe Erica? Should Yandy forgive Mendeecees after those texts? And do you think this whole thing was a planned storyline? Or a real-life love triangle imploding before our eyes? And while you're at it, smash that like button harder than Erica smashed the peace treaty. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter, because let's be honest, this is just the calm before the next Category 5 meltdown. Turn on your notifications because the next episode might just be the one where everything explodes for real.